Hi, welcome to the 8th podcast in the Early Head Start Caring Connection series. My name is Amanda Perez, and I'm a senior writer and training specialist with the Early Head Start National Resource Center. We hope that this podcast is useful to you and that you share it with others who might find it helpful. Don't forget to take a look at the information sheet that accompanies each podcast. It will direct you to the resources that we refer to and Head Start program performance standards that are relevant to the information covered. Through this series of podcasts, we have talked about important elements in caring for young children, including the importance of responsive relationships to children's healthy development. In this podcast, we will concentrate on how the relationships you build with young children help them build empathy with others. Particularly, we'll focus on toddlers, children from 16 months to 3 years old, as they learn about the impact of their actions on others and how to care for the people around them. But let's start at the beginning. What is empathy, and why is it so important? Valerie Kwan and Carol Ann Ween, teacher educators and researchers, define empathy as the capacity to observe the feelings of another and to respond with care and concern for that other. We want that for young children, right? Being able to imagine another person's thoughts, feelings, and needs and being prepared to respond is a core skill for living in families and communities, for negotiating friendships and succeeding in school. Did you know that even the smallest children show beginning signs of empathy? In a quiet hospital nursery, the cries of one newborn often lead other newborns to cry. While we don't fully understand the reasons for their response, are babies startled? Are they sad? One exciting idea is that the human brain is wired for empathy through brain cells called mirror neurons. Dan Siegel, a psychiatrist and brain researcher, talked briefly about mirror neurons in the opening session for the 2007 Birth to 3 Institute. Let's listen in.
Because these mirror neurons, what they do is they take the feeling of someone else inside of someone else, and they then mirror it in ourselves automatically. This is not like an intellectual exercise. It makes your brain perceive the emotional experience of someone else, and then through this thing called the insula, it drives that information down to the limbic areas, so you feel the feelings, and into your body.
Wow, did you hear that? So when we're observing others, mirror neurons in our brains fire, connecting to the limbic part of the brain, our emotional core, so that we feel what the people we're observing feel. That might sound far-fetched, but watch this inchworm. Do you feel the tingle of it on your own arm? Those are mirror neurons at work, the beginning of empathy. But, as Dr. Siegel tells us, having mirror neurons is not enough. Our experiences also shape our brains, our abilities to use those neurons to develop meaningful responses to the feelings of others. So while those babies in the nursery may feel startled or sad, they are still developing the ability to, as Kwan and Ween put it, respond with care and concern. Like all learning, learning empathy is developmental. So where do we begin? Through modeling. The great news is that just through responsive care, parents and teachers nurture empathy in young children. Each time a young child feels your empathy, he learns more about what's helpful and what is not. He's learning empathy from you. Magda Gerber, a pioneer in our understanding of infant and toddler development, really emphasizes this point in On Their Own with Our Help, a DVD from Resources for Infant Educators, or RIE. In the following clip, Magda describes her approach to intervening when young children may get rough with one another.
Oh, gently, Jason. Very gently. Nice. Easy. We teach gentleness by being gentle, and we stroke both children. If adults are rough with a child who hits and only comfort the victim, then in a sense they reward the child for being a victim, and the aggressive child does not experience or learn gentleness.
So, developmentally, Magda recognizes that the term gentle doesn't mean much to these mobile infants. She uses her words, her soft voice, her gentle touch, and her responsive care to calm, comfort, and teach both children. You teach gentleness, she says, by being gentle, and you teach empathy by being empathic. That kind of teaching is important all through childhood, but let's think about the toddler for a second. How about this toddler? He's building a sense of identity. He's wondering about the little guy in the mirror. Who is he? What can he do? And here's an important question as we're thinking about empathy. How does he feel? Another key piece of nurturing empathy is teaching children to identify their own feelings and name them. Strong emotions can be powerful for young children and sometimes confusing. Parents and caregivers can help. Let's watch Sue Bland, an early Head Start teacher, support two toddlers as they clean up after an activity.
After a messy GAC activity, teacher Sue Bland uses a conflict between Emily and Enrique as an opportunity to teach language.
We were sweeping the floor, cleaning up the GAC. The children, the two girls, they're closer to 3. The little boy, he's a little over 2. So there was an age difference. They all wanted to share. They all wanted to do it. There came a point where Emily did not want Enrique's help anymore. She hit him.
Ah! Emily, come here, please. Are we supposed to hit? Huh? Are we supposed to hit?
But what we want to see is the children using their words instead of hitting each other to stop the action.
Can you find another part?
Yeah,
Another part? Because that hurt Enrique when you hit him. Enrique, tell her. Say that. Stop, you're right. Say that hurt. Can you? Yeah, we don't want to put your hands on him. That hurts when you put your hands on my friends.
I don't like it.
You're right. You don't like it. You tell her. Emily, did you hear his words?
I like it.
Yeah, and she didn't like it when you put your hands on her.
Did you notice that Sue worked with the children to talk about what they felt? How interesting that they both said, "I don't like that." Over time, as they develop language, these children will learn to name the strong emotions they feel and will be better able to understand and respond to them in others. We open this podcast by talking about brain development. Each time you respond to a child's need, each time you offer a child understanding and words for feelings, you strengthen the neuronal pathways in the brain that allow children to understand another's feelings and respond. The truth is, empathy is key to how you provide responsive care. This toddler playing with dolls knows a lot about care. She's got a ways to go. It's a really hard job, but she's learning so much about care and empathy too from the people who care for her. Thanks for all you do. And thanks too for joining us. You can look us up at www.ehsnrc.org or on Head Start's Early Childhood Learning and Knowledge Center at eclkc.ohs.acf.hhs.gov for more resources designed to support you in your work. Stay tuned for more podcasts from the Early Head Start National Resource Center in the coming year. In the meantime, this is Amanda Perez wishing you all the best as you respond with empathy in your work.